what's up? That's where the camera is, right there. All right, what's up, everybody? Today I want to just show you guys some photo bashing techniques and yeah, how to do some photo bashing with some assets that you can find readily available pretty much anywhere. And yeah, we'll take a stab at it. I'm gonna try some different things, show you guys some different ways of putting stuff together, combining with layers, using different blending modes, things like that, paint overs. Um, like I said before, a lot of concept art is gesturing towards something and letting the mind of whoever the viewer is fill in the rest, right? Um, you're not painting detailed trees, you're gesturing towards trees, you're gesturing towards houses or people, right? And some, you're not going into crazy details. You just want to give enough to get that feeling, to get that emotion across through your concept. So let's dive in. All right. So the first thing I really want to do though is gather some um, images. So let's see, where do I want to go to gather my images? Let's see. You can do Google. Um, I have Envato. I'll do Google first. Let's see. Let's do city. And do images of cityscapes. So I can show you guys what I'm searching for. What I'm looking at. This is cool. I'm just gonna copy it and I'm gonna paste it into my this one's cool too. I'm gonna copy this and paste it in. I want something maybe with a little more perspective. Right now I haven't determined anything. I haven't determined, what it's supposed to look like. Um, I might want to do like a futuristic kind of city in the like a hidden kind of temple or hidden in the mountains kind of thing, like a future city like this. I've never seen kind of something like that where it's like a hidden city or like a futuristic city hidden in the jungles or something like that. I think that would be kind of cool. I'll do some sketches to show you guys kind of what I'm thinking, and then we'll go from there. So that's usually like the beginning process is you're thinking like, all right, what do I want to do, what kind of area, and the thing is it might even um, it might evolve as I go, right? The idea might evolve as I make my way through. Okay, so now let me do some mountains. If you didn't know about this tool, if you go to tools and you go to size right here, you can go to large and the top searches will be large in your Google searches. So I'll take some of these. I'll take a little bit of ice. And right now the lighting doesn't match, and that's going to be something it's really big when it comes to doing stuff like this, is matching lighting. And I'll show you some tips and tricks and things like that that you can use to match lighting. Oh, I like this a lot. Yeah. I like these trees. I might steal some of this. And I might not even use all of it, but I might draw inspiration for some from some and use some, leave some. Trying to find something that'll make good foreground. That's not bad. Okay, I might steal this. Alright. So now we've got a bunch of our little images that we can start to use. So let me show you guys what my kind of idea is for this. I'm going to create a new layer. Let me get my brush out and then let's hit. Alright, so right now I can't see my brush. If you hit cap lock on your keyboard, it'll hide your brush cursor, just so you know. Alright, this is fine. So my kind of idea is like I hit X on my keyboard and that toggles between the foreground and the middle ground color. So X does that. Do that a few times and get in the habit of doing stuff like that. All right. So let's see. It's not gonna be something super pretty, so I'm just gonna do my little city. Alright, and then maybe some either a floating island kind of thing. This is probably very played out, very trite, right? Like, and then on mountains in the back, I guess. Mountains in the back. Mountains in the back. That's one idea. Another idea is like maybe there's like a some trees, a path or something overlooking this lost city or whatever. This hidden city, you got the mountains in the back. This would be like maybe another tree or something. Yeah. Something like that. clouds. Something like that. Maybe there's like a little stream or something, and then there's some roads leading out. Maybe this is like an active volcano. Alright, this would be something interesting. Maybe he's a dragon or something coming in the foreground. I don't know. You know, just thinking of different things to do and what could be there. But something along this line is kind of what I'm trying to do. So, maybe minus the dragon. All right. Let's dive into what we're gonna start creating. So, first thing I kind of want to do is maybe like try to make my forest or whatever. Or start with my foreground. So maybe, oops. All right. So what I can do is with this, I can maybe start selecting some of the pieces that I want from it. So I think I like this kind of like bridge kind of area right here. Maybe even some of this. Control C, Control V. Right. It doesn't have to be pretty right now. We're still gonna paint over everything and make everything look a little better. So now I'm gonna start bringing in some more elements. I don't know why it's not letting me do the normal function, but okay. You select this. Whoa. What just happened? No clue what's going on. I might have to restart. Give me 1 second. Okay, I think we should have normal function restored now. Alright, I can do everything I was trying to do before. Alright, cool. Okay, so I only want... This already isn't bad. I'm just gonna grab some of these buildings. Like I always say, if you take your time with a lot of this stuff, your results are gonna be way better than mine. Right? I'm just showing you guys like the basics of photo bashing, grabbing some pieces together, getting something interesting on canvas, mixing this with a little bit of actual painting know-how, and you'll have something really, really nice to fall back on. So I'm just gonna grab these guys, drag it back. All right. This is when you start playing with masks, right? I just added a layer mask here. So I'm just going to grab my paintbrush and start to maybe go up to my paintbrushes. Use something soft, a soft round. And this is when I start to kind of start playing with the values, the textures, what's going on, and some of this. Just kind of trying to see what I can find. All right, what's going on? If there's something interesting going on. See if I can uncover it. So now what you should do is, well, what I would do is, I'll maybe start grabbing some of this paint here, this color, and then use it to fill this in. Or I can, instead of that, I can hit S on my keyboard. That's my stamp tool, and then I can grab some of this, maybe increase the size of the brush a little bit, and then use this to stamp a little bit more of this mountainside texture over here. Maybe first I'm going to convert this into a smart object, then do that technique. Okay. All right. Okay, so now maybe let's see what we can. Let's see what this would look like in there. No. I'm trying to find something with some good, kind of like interesting buildings. I might have to duplicate it to get like my hero. Maybe do something interesting with it to get a hero building out of it. I might start with something like this. Let's see, I'll erase a good chunk of it before it's done. Control C, Control V. That copies it, that pastes it, and I'm just going to drag it under all of this action. See where it can fit in. Right, so we might maybe I'll flip this horizontally. And what I can do with these is, I'm gonna maybe if I reduce the opacity a little bit, it gives it the idea that, hey, this one's a little darker, it's in the distance. So that's all I'm doing now. Just making it look like there's a giant kind of city back here, and then I'm gonna add like some smog and atmosphere to the bottom area for it. So let me see if I can find mountain images. Let me find a boulder. Okay, maybe a giant rock. There's still like this idea of this like floating city. So like the bottom idea, my idea is like the bottom is gonna be like this slum, and then this elevated city that's above it is gonna be this this kind of messiah kind of city or whatever, or this, you know. There's a few movies that I've seen that kind of have a similar theme. I like this one's not bad, but it's got some oh, this one's cool. I like this. Copy this one just in case. All right. Whoa. Okay, That's as clear as it gets. I'm gonna hit W on my keyboard just to select my rock. I only want that piece. I'm gonna Control C, Control V. Now I've got my rock piece isolated. I'm gonna throw a mask on it, and then I'm going to hit B on my keyboard, and then just kind of remove some of the top piece over there. B. It's not the most idyllic one, but we will make it work. That's the idea. We can make it work. Alright, so now let's find our idyllic city that we're gonna put on top of it. So this guy right here. Alright, so this guy's our city. That goes on top. Alright. But you guys are starting to get the idea, right? You guys are starting to get the idea of what we're trying to accomplish, right? Alright. What happens if I hide this guy? No, it doesn't work as well. I'm just using the clone stamp tool to generate myself some more fake mountain looking structure. And I might go back over this and just dirty it up a little bit. Let me go all the way down to where they reside. So about right here. I'm gonna group these together. This is when you're Control G, lower city. So you can start to get a little disorganized. So try to organize your work as much as possible. I've said that several times. I'll say it again. Try to organize your work as much as possible. So this is my first little dirt pass, right? And then I'm gonna just do maybe an overlay. All right. This will add. Maybe a soft light, right? And then on the soft light, we're gonna knock it back about 35%. All that does is just just knocks it down a little bit, bringing our foreground stuff a little forward a little bit more. All right. V, I'm going to use that to select my little rock over here. And then I'm going to go to B on my keyboard. Right now, I'm just going to try to find something that maybe will work as a rock. Okay, I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it. That's assigned to the stamp tool right now. For some friggin' reason. I just want something with some kind of coarse edges. The sketch might work. Oh, that's too much. You're doing too much. Okay. It's too much. Alright. This is fine. I'm just going to use this to kind of shape my brush or shape my rock a little bit. Just to give it. Okay, so another thing is I might like to add some kind of fantastical details or something to this, so I might go back in here so I can add, like, I want to add maybe some ways that maybe they're connected or tethered to the outside world, right? So they're tethered somehow, right? Just adding some more, not real, but you know, some more elements to it to kind of sell the idea of what I'm going for. And I haven't even addressed the sky or anything. I'm just kind of playing around with what, you know, what the canvas is giving me, what the images that I've bashed together are giving me. I'm just kind of putting everything together into this kind of pot of idea and, you know, trying to see what that'll get me. And as I do that, I can then start to build stuff around it. So like this, I might want this to be kind of like, hey, they built a bridge at some point in time, it just never really worked, or something like that, you know, or and then put some on this side. Maybe I want to put some kind of little bridges out. This is how maybe they They summon ships. Ships come back and forth from here, right? So maybe they have these kind of little structures that supports their bridge. They don't want the pores up here, but they'll let them bring them trade from below, the belows, they'll let you fly up for about an hour, and then you got to get your grubby self back down to where you belong. That's this kind of civilization. So these guys are pretty fancy. So they would have kind of some okay freighters. One side is probably for regular transport. The hobnobs of the hobnobs get to use this side of the port, and then cargo and all sorts of things. So this side probably has a bunch of like little cargo docks and stuff like that, and things that help people dock their ship, right? Maybe some telecommunications towers. Hey, radar. You're gonna need some sort of radar. How do you get in contact with those ships out there? And like I said, you're just using it as kind of like you're suggesting things. You don't know. I'm just making this shit up, but you're suggesting it with the things that you put there, right? So that's what we're doing. All right. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can. Let's make this a little more prominent. Okay, let's get down to and what I'm going to do is I want to kind of warp it so it kind of looks like everything is kind of enveloping, because everything's kind of flat right now, and I want to feel that pull of the. So I'm just going to throw a warp on my objects here. So kind of just to bring it in a little bit. It'll be at the edges, so you might not be able to tell too much, but it'll give it that illusion of like. Just gonna find some grunge maps on Google, and I'm gonna just copy and paste them just to give myself a little bit of noise. I'm gonna hit copy and then paste. So I've just got just a little bit of grunge right here that I'm gonna use. So I might bring it all the way to the top actually, just to give myself. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to reduce the opacity quite a bit down. You see, it just adds a little bit of noise to it. It's probably too subtle to tell right now, but that's something that we can do. I want to add some other ideas to it. Let's Right now I'm just looking for some kind of stock smog, smoke. This one's not bad. Sometimes it takes a while to hunt something down that you're looking for. Sometimes it takes no time at all. It's the nature. If you're looking, I don't want to take too much time just trying to find the right thing. So I will just pick one. This one might work. Might work is the operative. Okay, let's do. Alright, screen it. And then we're gonna bring it all the way down. And just reduce it. Okay. So I kind of want to darken up the city a little bit, make it a little edgier. It's not as edgy. It still looks a little too clean for me. So I might start going into some of the blending modes for it, just to see if there's anything I can do. I'm just gonna leave it normal for now, and then B up. something on top of all that. I like it before. So if I start to get something that I'm digging, that I'm working on, I might just go ahead and just. What I might do is desaturate a lot of it. So, the only thing missing now is just these two. A good way to really start to kind of dial some of those colors in is using a lookup table. So I'll use this to kind of gauge what I'm getting right now to see if some of the tone is kind of reading, right? And then what I can do to push it, right? I might be able to do something like this, right? And then add like a vignette or something. Let's reverse that. And then leave it on multiply, reduce the, and go in here, hit B on the keyboard. This is another way where you can start to bring some life, right? Because now I'm painting, right? Now I'm using this to focus our attention right here, right? So now if I want to bring our city to life, right? If I wanted to, I could hit X on my keyboard, and then I can put some more things in shadow if I wanted to put some more of this in shadow, right? So maybe just to emphasize some of the darker parts, right? And then try to use the light sparingly. So now we're essentially kind of carving, we're painting with the light itself. Alright. So now what I might want to do is I might want to go back in here and then maybe hit B on my keyboard, get this guy. I do want the city itself down here to kind of have its own thing. So I'm going to use this to kind of draw some lights, like these guys they're siphoning energy from somewhere, right? Like this is how they get their energy off. All right. And then I can go maybe back under it, and then maybe use like a soft round brush to maybe get like make it look like something glowing. There's something interesting happening to all of these buildings in here. You know, maybe one of them gets like this. So it's not all the same. My douche. Right. Nobody's gonna be able to tell from afar what the heck is going on, right? You're just, like I said, you're just trying to give people a little bit of some, just so that, you know, they feel like something's happening. They don't know what's going on, right? So like now I'm just using that as like as my guide. Now I'm saying, hi, maybe somebody's at the office late, right? Somebody could be at the office late, right? And once I've established a lot of this, it's pretty easy to then go back over it. Let me use this. So now we're just, you know, I'm just using the lights, everything to kind of give myself a sense of like this world, what's going on. These lights mean something. Why are they on the road? Maybe these are like sentinels. Maybe this is how they track things. Maybe this is how they light the way. They know if this, you know, it's like a early warning system. I don't know what's going on, but we're using our imagination. We're bashing photos together. We're creating meaning from nothing. We're creating stories, right, out of this stuff. All right. All of this means something. I don't know what it means, but it means something. You know, you're just trying to strike something with whoever your creative director is, and trying to see if they feel anything from what they're looking at. All right. So maybe these beacons are out here too. All right. So maybe down here All right, what I want to do is I want to give it maybe more of like a, like we've got some smog going on here for some of these buildings, so I want to kind of represent that a little bit. Maybe there's not so glowy. All right. I'm gonna add one more thing to it and call it on this one. And that's pretty much, that'll be my demo, right? Like I just, so you guys kind of see what, you know, like that's the process. Another thing I'll probably add is maybe some lighting to the end of this rock, it just to light it up a little bit better. I'm gonna snatch this. I'm gonna say copy this image, and then I'm gonna all the way to this guy, Control V. I want it on top of my rock right there. Control T, and then I'm just gonna scale it down. I kind of want these waterfalls. Let me see if it works. So it might not work, right? Like it might not. I'm just like, I'm one of those, like, just bring it in, see if it works. If it doesn't, you get rid of it. It didn't, no harm, no foul, right? Like you're experimenting. This is fine. Like this is, it's okay for it not to look good at first. It's okay for it not to look good at all, right? Like that's part of the, it's part of the journey. So just add a little bit of this, a little bit of ice. Control, select the mask. I'm gonna smooth it out quite a bit. Maybe turn up the contrast. Hit OK. Control C, Control V to paste it. Hide this one, and I'm gonna drag this. Whoops. Just gonna. Where's my waterfall? I'm just gonna pull it up in the stack a little bit more. Then I'm gonna hit. Just gonna see if blending mode works. Okay, it works. Lighten. And then I'm gonna throw the mask on. Before I do that, I'm gonna warp it. Right, I'm just gonna warp it so that some of these pieces kind of fit a little bit better. Right. And then go on my mask, B, and then X on the keyboard. Right, to, and it might not work after all my hullabaloo. Right, I might not like it. Might not like it. It might be too much. I might need to scale it down quite a bit more. Because if it was like really water pouring from it, right, it would be super tiny, right? Control T. Let's flip this horizontally. Move it almost kind of looks like a leak or something, or I might hit B, hit X on the keyboard, and then bring this one back, right? What that does is it gives me the ability to kind of add a little bit of variation. And I'll do the same for this one, where I just bring back a little bit of this one as well. All right, so now they all look a little bit different. They're kind of cool. So now this is what our concept looks like. All right, I might darken up these kind of favela-y areas up a little bit more, but other than that, I think I like it. It does a pretty good job. I wish I had some time. I'd add maybe like a spaceship or something docking, or maybe a person in this foreground walking here, so it looks like they're people are just casually doing their hangabouts or doing their walkabouts as life goes on in our new hidden kind of forbidden city-esque kind of thing. So that's the idea, and that's the beauty of these kind of lookup tables, is you can use these to almost get yourself a new look. So I can go from this kind of happy city to this idyllic city, or this nighttime city, and then I can go and light it for nighttime, or light it for daytime, or the jungle, or desaturated. So you really do have a lot of different options when it comes to photo bashing stuff together, and then making stuff looking cohesive. So hopefully some of these tips have helped you along the way, and you guys kind of see what you can possibly do with this. So yeah, we've got our city in the sky here, and we've got our slummy favelas, and on our trail that we kind of walk around or whatever. All right, well, that's it for this lecture. I appreciate you guys' time. Hopefully this one didn't take you too long, and do the assignment, try your own version of this, post it in the chat, and we will discuss. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Look forward to seeing what you guys produce. Peace.